Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be their lack of concern for you is their strength. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So frequently on the channel, what I do is I mention empathy. I mention suggestions on how to heal and how to grow, how to learn, to teach, become awakened and aware, educated and empowered. I give you the tools to get through the narcissistic abusive cycle and come out on the other side, essentially to rise through the ashes like a phoenix. Now, having said all that, this video is going to be a little different. It's going to let you know one of the strengths of the narcissist, and it is, as the thumbnail mentioned, their lack of concern for you. I'll jump right in. So the narcissist, you may think that they care about you. You may think that they love you. You may think that they have your best interest at heart. None of those things are accurate, not one of them. The narcissist cares about one individual only, and it is themselves. Remember this, when you are in the narcissistic relationship, think about how you were treated day in and day out. If the narcissist needed something from you, or they wanted you to do something, or they wanted you to accomplish something, of course they would throw you a little breadcrumb of hope, a little sliver of affection, a little bit of fake empathy. Perhaps they drop some words on you that would get you pulled back into line, which would be, I love you, things like that. But these were few and far between. Throughout the body of the relationship, the length of the relationship, virtually every day, the longer it went on, the more you were being devalued, the more the narcissist cared less and less about you. Specifically, the more your resources became depleted, the more you worked for the narcissist, the less they cared about you. Remember, each and every narcissistic relationship, it has an expiration date, whether you know it or not. You get the wisdom on my channel and you understand that, oh my goodness, that in fact is true. And so many things that Andrew is sharing with me are accurate as well, whether I want to believe them or not. This is called radical acceptance, practicing that in fact the relationship you were a part of was just that, perhaps a narcissistic relationship, certainly a toxic relationship if you're on the channel. But having said these things, think about when you were in the euphoric stage, the beginning, the inception of the relationship, how everything was puppies and rainbows. It was unicorns and emojis. Remember those days? Of course you do. Those days were meant to draw you in, to have you put your guard down, to lower your boundaries. Even if you had boundaries, they would be lowered, because now this individual, i.e. the narcissist, was getting as close to you as they possibly could, because they wanted to figure out everything about you. They wanted to learn about your family, your past relationships, how much money you made, your dreams, your aspirations, your goals. They wanted to learn about your network of friends, what your tangible assets were, perhaps if you're going to have an inheritance or not. They wanted to learn all of these things about you, your medical concerns and or issues. And what did they do? Well, I'll tell you what they did. They did mental gymnastics. And what they did in their tiny little pea brain is they took mental notes about you and virtually everybody they encounter. They have a memory like a steel trap. But remember this, the narcissist also has selective memory. So they will remember anything that you shared with them to weaponize it against you at a later date. However, if you were to press the narcissist and ask them questions, again, they will have selective memory, which means they'll say things like, oh, I don't know, I have no idea. I said that? What are you talking about? Or they'll blame shift or give you word salad, but they will never address any real conversation that you have or questions you have with them. That is one of the defense mechanisms of the narcissist. Blame shifting or word salad, or not ever getting to the point, or basically tiring you out so you're scratching your head like, what was that? I just had the strangest conversation and this individual didn't even give me anything. You're right, because the narcissist never gives you anything. What the narcissist provides for you, and they did provide for you, is the appearance of what if, the possibilities that would be limitless in the future, although they would never come to fruition. Future faking is what they provide for you. They provide a shiny package, which is their human form many times, not always, but many times. And inside of it, there's no core, there's no substance. It is like a ticking time bomb just waiting to explode. And that's what I mentioned a few moments ago. Each and every relationship has an expiration date. That is when the narcissist has had their fill of being in a relationship with you for a multitude of reasons. One is because most likely they found your replacement. But two is because your resources have been decimated. You perhaps took a physical health hit. Maybe you don't have the same job you had in the past. Maybe you aren't earning the same money. Your support system probably has been blown up because the narcissist most likely drove wedges between you and anybody that mattered to you. Perhaps you were isolated, you moved, relocated, town, city, country, state, wherever, and perhaps you were now had given up on your hobbies and everything because the narcissist didn't want you to be improving or to learn or to grow. All these things I'm mentioning, and getting back to the thumbnail, the narcissist's lack of concern for you is their strength. It really is. So think about this. Let's say you did fall in love with the narcissist and you believed that they in fact were in love with you. Well, we now know the narcissist can't fall in love, so that's number one. Tough pill to swallow, but it's real. But the second thing is they wanted you to fall in love with them. They wanted to be that white knight in shining armor, or the damsel in distress, whatever you wanted to say it, however you fell in love with the narcissist. Believe me, they did their homework. They figured out how to make you fall in love with them, or to how to get you to become attached to them. Maybe it wasn't even that you fell in love with them. Maybe you just got attached to their children or their grandkids, and they used them as a pawn and or weapon to get close to you. And then what did they do when they wanted to lower the boom? Parental alienation, or they isolated you and you no longer could see the kids or the grandkids. This is exactly how the narcissist does their dirty deeds. It's a fact. But their lack of concern for you is never more evident than not only throughout the body of the relationship, how they're treating you, which I will talk about in a moment, but also at the end when the mask officially slips. And it doesn't just slip, it is ripped off of their face, unsuperglued, if you will, and they smash it to the ground. And perhaps they discarded you, or perhaps they told you some cold, hard untruths or truths. No matter what happened, the ending of any narcissistic relationship is not a pleasant experience. It is a challenging and toxic experience, to say the least. And that is when you find my channel, most likely because you didn't know you were up against a narcissist. You didn't know you were up against anybody or anything, but now you're figuring it out and you're getting the wisdom. Having said all these things, let's go back to the body of the relationship, how the narcissist showed you their lack of concern for you. Think about if you were sick or when you got sick. Was the narcissist there by your bedside? Probably not. Let's say that you were a mom and you were giving birth and you were having kids, or you had multiple kids. Was the narcissist there with you when you gave birth? Not so sure if they were there. Think about it. When you were going on vacation and you were waiting to go on that one dream vacation, maybe to a certain space, a certain location, and you waited a year for it or 2 years, whatever, and you saved up and you're all excited, and then the narcissist, what happened? They would blow up the vacation. Think about it. That's what they would do. Think about all the nights when you would eat dinner by yourself because the narcissist would claim that they are running late from work. Go on, it's okay, just eat without me, it's no big thing. And you're thinking, again? Okay, well, I guess I'll just eat by myself. And what happens? That goes from 1 day a week to 2 days a week to now 20 times a month to now 29 days out of a month to now every day other than a certain couple days of the year, you find yourself eating alone. Why? Because the narcissist has already lined up your replacement, most likely. Or, think about this, they don't care about being with you, i.e. their lack of concern for you is a strength for them. Please get the message. So the whole time when you're in the relationship, when you are being devalued, when you are experiencing rage fits, when you are experiencing the smear campaign, which you can't wrap your head around, when you are experiencing the silent treatment, when you are eating alone by yourself, when you're going to bed alone by yourself, when you're waking up and the narcissist is already gone because they're on a 15-mile bike ride at 5 o'clock in the morning and they won't be back till noon, even though it's a weekend and people usually sleep in on weekends or do things together. But no, the narcissist can't do that, can they? No. What they need to be doing is doing anything but be with you. Because why? Think about what the thumbnail mentioned. Because their lack of concern for you is their strength. And what do they want to keep you doing throughout the body of the relationship? That's right. They want you stuck in the narcissistic fog, in that loop going around and around and around. They don't want you, A, figuring out who they are. B, they don't want you figuring out that your replacement has been in line probably throughout most of your relationship. You just didn't know it. They don't want you figuring out who they are and what they are doing to you. They want nothing of the kind. What they want is to keep you around as a source of supply, as an example, to, let's say, pay the bills, put a roof over their head, to spend money on their vacations, to be there for them when they don't get the supply that throughout their workday, so you can be the human punching bag at in the evening. In other words, you can listen to all their problems and they can spew all the toxicity into you. You get drained. The energy transfer is happening. All your positivity goes into them. They get their cup full. You get dumped on, and next thing you know, that becomes your life. Think about what I'm sharing with you. The narcissist never cared about you. They don't care about anybody. What they care about is what people provide for them. Again, like I mentioned, time, money, energy, effort, love, empathy, whatever you can provide for them. So let's say this. If you own a beach house, or if you own a boat, or if you own a cottage, or if you have access to a certain venue or event, the narcissist will try their best to get on that list to get access to those things. It's what they do. Why? Because they want to glom on to unsuspecting individuals, kind, generous, loving individuals. That's what they want to do. And they want to take away from people's core. So let's focus on that for a minute. When you met the narcissist, I'm certain you were living life swimmingly and things were going fine. You probably had a big social circle, network of friends, your job was going well and everything, health was doing great and everything was going fine. And then you met the narcissist and boom, what happened? Well, they did their homework, figured out what made you tick and the reconnaissance on you, asked people about you, your status, if you've been married, all these kind of things. And then boom, maybe a month later, they contact you or bump into you, wink, wink. And next thing you know, they planted the seed. You get together, you fall in love with them after a period of time, which was the euphoric stage, or you want to call it the love bomb, whatever. Next thing you know, boom, you've relocated, you've sold your house, you've moved the narcissist out of their house, and now you bought a house as an example. Okay, well, you do all these things. What happens? Well, things are moving at light speed. Wedding bells are around the corner. People flying from all over the globe to attend the wedding, which you think is a storybook wedding, and it probably was. Truth is that during that ceremony, that wedding ceremony, it wasn't quite what it appeared to be, was it? No, it wasn't. And do you know why? I'll tell you why. Number one, you didn't have the wisdom back then that you have acquired post-narcissistic relationship. But number two, that wedding was nothing but supply. Think about it. For you, the person who got married, if you did, that was a authentic, genuine wedding. The wedding bells were ringing. Everyone was lined up. Everyone was in their perfect place. The rehearsal was done. Everybody came in for the wedding, right? They did. But what happened? There was one piece missing. That's right. The authenticity of the individual that was about to marry you. That person actually did not want to be with you. They didn't care about you at all. They had no concern for you. But what they did know is they were in supply heaven, supply central, if you will, because the planning of the wedding event, and subsequent months after that, they were high on supply until it wore off. And then what did they do? Then they started staying away from home more and more. Then they went on their own little mini vacations more and more. Then they went on alleged trips to learn about industry services or to be educated more and more. And again, the separation continued. You began to get separated more and more from the narcissist, but you didn't know it. You just thought it was status quo. I mean, you thought that was normal, what healthy individuals do when they're married. Nothing could be further from the truth. Healthier individuals, i.e. a non-narcissist, they want to spend time together, but yet have some time for themselves. They don't want to be vacationing alone. They don't want to be blowing up your vacation. They don't need supply. Think about it. So the lack of concern for you is the narcissist's strength. It is completely true. Think about your relationship when you were in it and write down how little the narcissist did for the relationship. Why you were always super gluing the relationship back together, while you were always putting out fires, while you were always on the go doing things, while the narcissist sat back as a puppet master and watched you not only deteriorate, but watched your resources become depleted and watched you work harder and harder to maintain a relationship, which again had an expiration date. You just didn't know it. This is what the narcissist does. This is how they go from person to person, friendship to friendship, place to place, business to business, spouse to spouse. This is why they blow up every relationship they ever become a part of. And you may say, well, that's really not true, Andrew. It's 100% true. Why? Because nobody is safe when you have a narcissist in your proximity. Any of your acquaintances, if they're a narcissist or a toxic individual, they can turn on the charm and turn it off whenever they want to. They can drive a wedge between you and whoever they want to. They can blow up your relationship or other relationships that you're a part of just by initiating the smear campaign. These people are evil. These people are nasty. They're toxic. They're manipulating. They don't tell the truth. What they do is want to create chaos and disruption. Think about what I'm sharing with you. That's why nobody is safe when there's a narcissist present. Not one person. No, you may be a flying monkey watching this right now and not even know it. You may be a flying monkey and know that you are because you're subservient to the narcissist, although you don't think you are. But believe me when I tell you, if you made it this far in the video and you believe you're a flying monkey, you are what I call an enabler, and you are subservient. And the narcissist, it's just a matter of time before they put a target on your back. Trust me when I tell you, nobody is safe from the narcissist. But why I'm sharing all those things are, remember, the narcissist goes whichever way the wind blows. Whoever has the biggest bank account, whoever has the biggest beach house, whoever can provide the lifestyle that the narcissist wants and or needs. And this is all subject to change. Just like the fine print on any contract that you sign for a phone carrier or something. In the fine print it says subject to change, things like that, right? That's a narcissistic relationship in a nutshell, right there, those 3 words. Boom, think about it. The only difference is when you were getting married or the wedding bells were ringing, it's not that that was in the fine print, because there wasn't supposed to be any fine print. It was supposed to be a covenant. It was supposed to be a marriage built on trust, honesty, authenticity, genuineness, and growth. But that's not what the narcissist saw. They saw a ring on your finger, and they saw immediate, instant supply. Just add abuse. That's what they saw. So they could dip their toe into the cesspool of discomfort, and they could say anything they wanted to, disrupt your vacation, your holiday, your birthday, your work. Think about that. Here's another way, as the thumbnail mentions, that the narcissist doesn't care about you, or their lack of concern for them is their strength. Think about how many times you would be at work, having a peaceful day, doing whatever you're doing. And I know work's not fun sometimes, but sometimes it is. But the point is, back then you were at work and all of a sudden you get a random text. Hey, did you pay this bill? Hey, can you get out early and pick up the kids? Hey, when you get home, don't forget to do the laundry, the dishes, sweep, walk the dog, and do something else. And you're like, wait a minute, what about hello, how are you? How are things going today? Those days are long over. Why? Because you now have the ring on your finger, and the narcissist believes they own you. And believe me when I tell you, that text that I just mentioned to you, it was meant to disrupt your energy. So now you put the phone down, you're kind of frustrated because you're not being treated properly. What happens? Well, disruption city. Now you can't really function properly at work, can you? No, you can't. But more importantly, think about this. When you get home, and believe me when I tell you, when you get out of work, you will be going directly home. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. You will be going straight home, and what will you do? That's right. You will be doing every chore and or every job that they wanted you to do. Why? Because you've been groomed, and you need to do that. If you don't, when the front door opens, who will it be? Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? If one of those tasks is not accomplished before the narcissist comes home late, as they usually did, a couple hours after they said they would come home, what happens? Well, you're in the hot seat. Why didn't you do it? All you do is sit around and do nothing all day. I should have never married you. Your mom told me you would never amount to anything. No wonder nobody likes you. You can't do anything right. Are you kidding me? Again, you will get things like that. And this is all strategic. Notice the pieces of the puzzle I'm putting together for you. You're at work. The narcissist disrupted your energy, gave you a to-do list. Now your workflow is devastated, or you're not functioning properly. Now you have the to-do list on your mind. You scramble to get home. You get things done. The narcissist is 2 hours late again. You've eaten dinner by yourself. You've done all the chores. The narcissist was out getting your replacement, most likely, or getting supply from another place, or certainly another individual. And what happens? Boom. All of this stuff repeats itself over and over and over again. And now that to-do list tomorrow gets longer. The lateness of missing dinner, it turns into 2.5 hours, etc., etc. This is how the narcissist pulls away. This is how they show you their lack of concern for you. This is their strength, because you were in love with them. They were never in love with you. Get the message. Guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware, and understand that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you. And I hope you like this video. Again, I love creating these videos. This one was very powerful for me personally, and I hope you enjoyed it. Share it with somebody who can use it. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you. God bless you. And I'll talk to you later today. Bye, guys.